We meet Pauline Wanjiru and Bernard Masharia, who take us through their journey to parenthood that saw them get their first baby, Ruby Masharia, 3 years ago. At birth, their daughter was first diagnosed with severe jaundice, which turned out to be their worst nightmare after a series of curious tests.
And I remember on that call, the doctor was, he said, read me what the results say. And I told him, and he was like, when can you come? And when you come, don't come alone. When he said that, this is bad. And then the doctor was like, I suspected your daughter has SMA, spinal muscular atrophy, type 1. And then he went ahead and asked us, are you related? Now me and my husband. No. Why? And he said, because genetic issues such as this are very prevalent among relatives.
Learning that they are both carriers of spinal muscular atrophy type 1, an inherited neuromuscular disease that kills more infants worldwide than any other genetic disorder. This means that while they don't have the disease themselves, they have copies of the mutated gene that causes SMA1. Their first reaction was denial, including not even taking their child to clinic.
2 months we just said, hey, we've been to enough doctors. By the way, enough. So we just wanted to enjoy her when we had her. In my mind, those doctors' words just kept ringing.
Scientists say there are 4 types of SMA, with SMA1 being the most severe and common version, where symptoms show up at birth or by the age of 6 months, affecting 1 in 6,000 to 1 in 10,000 births. Symptoms showing up as a weak neck muscle, weak feet movement, and difficulty in breastfeeding.
With Ruby, I would have said there was a weak cry. It was weak. It's not as, there's a baby who can cry and wonder, hey, who made that baby angry? You get? But with a baby who has SMA, it's not as strong. It's not as strong. But babies who have SMA are not affected intellectually. Intellectually, they are very much on point.
Pauline narrates to us how she remembers receiving a call from her child's nanny that something was not okay.
So by the time I'm coming, when I arrived, my nanny was seated here and the baby was there. And she was unconscious, kabisa, like she was out of it. She had food on her cheek and she was not responsive. At that time, I'm just thinking, how did we get here? We were fine in the morning, we were fine by our standards. So an ambulance is called.
Despite rushing to hospital and trying to save the baby, Pauline and Bernard say this was the darkest day of their lives, watching their baby breathe her last.
Death is never easy, but for a baby I feel like it is heavier because this person never got to live out their dream or what aspirations you had for them.
6 months down the line, the couple eventually pondered over having another child.
We decided to have another, we conceived again, smooth pregnancy. This one I didn't even have pain. The way with Ruby in the beginning, there was a bit of pain because of fibroids. This one was just smooth.
As they tell us, this too was a smooth pregnancy, and even though they had an option to test for the condition while pregnant, they had hopes that all will be well. And when Jamari Kiama was born, all seemed perfect to them and even to the doctors.
To see a baby kick his legs, for us, it hadn't happened with Ruby. And if it happened when she was born, at the time we didn't notice. But right now we were so, and he was kicking and he was all over.
However, 2 months later, having known how SMA presents itself, and after tests, Kiama too was diagnosed with SMA type 1 and was immediately put on drugs and later a tube to enable him feed.
And then to take it further, no mother wants to stop breastfeeding at such a young age. But we didn't have any options.
To this end, Kiama's life depends on a drug that he needs to be administered before he gets to 2 years.
If the baby is past 2 years, most times after 2 years, the antibodies to fight it are normally there. So below 2, they're still not there. So it's safer to give him the drug then.
And in desperation to save their son, the couple has turned to social media to raise a total of 259 million Kenya shillings with only 5 months left.
Only 300K people gave 1,000 bob each. This baby would get that drug.
Although the drug is expensive, it is there. It is not something that is not treatable. It is treatable. I have a pay bill number, 400, 200, and then 100, 5 to 1. People can contribute so that we can give Kiama a chance to life.
Robbie Omondi, K24 Health Beat.